Hi, thanks for joining us today. We're going to get started in a few moments, but before I do that, we do have a few housekeeping items to take care of. If you have any issues with the webinar today, first try logging out and then back in. That tends to fix a lot of the issues that people have. But if you're still having issues, write down this phone number for the GoToWebinar help desk and they can help you with any issues. That number is 877-582-7011. Next up is where you can ask questions. We've got two options for you. First is the question mark icon on the right. If you have questions during the webinar, please send them in. The second option is you can send us questions on Twitter using hashtag HGWebinar. There are a lot of people joining us today, so we might not get to all of your questions during the open Q&A, but still send in your questions and you might get an email response from one of our team members. And if we have a bunch of questions we need to address, we may even put together a blog post. We are recording the session today, so you will receive a link to the recording by email by tomorrow at the latest. Okay, so welcome to today's webinar. We are talking about WordPress themes. If you are new to WordPress, then check out the webinar that we did in February on WordPress 101. You can find the recording on our blog at hostgator.com/blog/resources. And we're going to drop that link for you in the chat, so look for it there. We covered some of this in our 101 webinar, but today we're going to really dig deeper into themes. We're going to cover some of the basics of understanding themes, get into how you can find a great theme, and then we'll give you a behind the scenes look at how to install and customize your WordPress theme. But first off, we want to know what you're hoping to learn today. There's going to be a poll that's popping up on your screen. Take a moment, review the choices, and select the one that most closely represents you. We want to know, what is your biggest challenge regarding themes? Give me just one moment, that should be popping up on your screen. Okay, looks like some answers are still coming in. But in general, you're pretty split. It's pretty across the board as far as what you're hoping to learn today. Yeah, see, our most common selections were customizing a theme for my brand and understanding functionality, followed closely by working on my first site and don't have a theme. So I hope that we're going to be able to cover what you're looking for today. We've got a lot of this in here, so I think it's going to really help you out. Let's get back to pulling up my next slide for you. Okay. So first off, let me introduce myself. I'm Blair Williamson, the Content Marketing Manager for HostGator. I manage the HostGator blog, which is a WordPress website. I've been working in WordPress since 2010 and building sites in WordPress since 2014. Also online is Jana Thibodeau. She's part of our social media team, and she's going to be following along with your questions in the chat window and also your comments and questions on social media. So share what you like, drop your comments, your questions on Twitter using hashtag HGWebinar. You can see that in the bottom right corner of your screen. And of course, we are following along with your questions in the chat window. So thanks, Jana, for helping me out with that. And just like all of you, we are working from home these days, so bear with us as we navigate this new normal from home in case we have any glitches or You hear anything strange going on, it is storming in Austin where we're presenting live. So if you hear something going on, that's what's going on. It's storming as we're working from home. Whatever your reason for starting a website during these trying times, we hope that you can learn something today that will make the setup process a little bit easier.
Hey, Blair. Sorry to interrupt. It looks like there's a couple of people, I'm not seeing a lot, but there's a couple of people that are having audio issues, and someone has asked if we can reshare the phone number so they can dial in. I don't know if you have a second to do that.
Sure. Let me find the phone number to dial in.
It was on the intro slide.
Oh, that's the help desk number, but so they should still be able to help you figure out the number to dial in. The help desk number is 877-582-7011. And the webinar ID number, if you need that when you call in, is 566-485-099.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure. Okay, let's get going. Thanks for letting us know you were having issues. Hope we're able to work that out. Okay, so what is a WordPress theme? Well, a WordPress theme is essentially a package of files and style sheets that create the appearance or the design of your site. So on its own, WordPress is more like a skeleton. So it handles the function of your website, but without a design theme, your website won't look like much to the public. You have to choose a design theme. It's sort of like a house under construction. So the frame holds up the house and the wires run the electricity, which helps run the functions within the website or within the house, sorry. But your walls and windows and stucco and the paint, that makes up the visual design of the house, right? So that's your WordPress theme on your website. Every WordPress theme will have its own appearance, layout, features, and design rules. And the way that you customize your site is really dependent on the theme that you install. And I'll be honest, this part typically takes the most time in setting up your site, is just making all the pieces set up in the layout correctly. And this is really dependent on the theme that you choose. So keep that in mind as we're going through this. So let's talk a little bit about some terms you're going to want to know about themes. When you start with themes, there are free themes, which are provided and vetted by WordPress.org. And then there are premium themes, also known as paid themes. These are typically created by a third-party WordPress shop or designer. So let's talk a little bit about the pros and cons of each. First off, let's start with free themes. WordPress has thousands of wonderful free themes that you can choose from. You can search for them directly from the WordPress theme directory. I'll show you how to do that once we log in. But a big benefit of using a free theme is that you can get up and running quickly because you don't have to install anything. You're just going to simply find a theme from the library and activate it. If you are considering a free theme, you'll definitely want to stick with ones that are available in the WordPress theme library. These have been through a strict review process and they've been vetted by WordPress, so you know you can trust them. I definitely do not recommend uploading, installing a free theme that you found out on the internet simply because you won't know if you can trust the code, and there's not much behind that to support it for just free themes. Premium themes, on the other hand, they do come with a fee. And as a general rule, I feel like premium themes may give you more layout options, more customization features, and they might even perform better. Premium themes typically come with more thorough documentation and even customer support, which can be really helpful during the setup process. And I'm going to show you how to look for that too. You can usually purchase a really nice WordPress theme in the range of like $30 to $100. And it's a really great option where you don't have to provide or hire a professional website designer. In my experience, most premium themes are typically a one-time fee. And then there's going to be some suggestions popping up on the screen for examples of places where you could purchase themes. There you go. There's some examples. So should you buy a premium theme? Well, really that's up to you and your needs. One area where I definitely recommend a premium theme is if you're thinking about an online store. We recommend using the WooCommerce plugin for WordPress if you're going to run an online store, and you're definitely going to need a theme that is compatible with WooCommerce. So that's where a premium theme can be really useful. It will give you more options for WooCommerce compatible themes if you're open to purchasing a premium theme. Okay, now that you have some terminology under your belt, let's talk a little bit about how to choose a design theme. First of all, your design theme should be mobile responsive. Mobile responsive means that the design automatically adjusts to fit the screen size of the visitor, no matter if they are on a desktop, a mobile phone, or a tablet. Mobile responsiveness, it's pretty much a standard practice these days. So most design themes should be compatible, but you'll definitely want to double check that. And if you're purchasing a theme, you absolutely need it to be mobile responsive. I wouldn't spend your money on something that's not mobile responsive. Next, best practice, simple is best. So a lot of WordPress themes, they might look great, but there's a lot going on behind the scenes. And that could mean a very time-consuming setup process. And it may even mean that you're dealing with a lot of different features that you don't need. So for instance, let's say that a theme has a news ticker on the homepage, but you don't publish news, then that's probably not going to be the design theme that you need. Find a theme that meets your niche, gives your visitors a great site experience, and helps them find the information they need in the shortest amount of time possible. When it comes to compatibility, I want you to think about your long-term plans for the website. The most important thing to think about with compatibility is if you plan to have an online store, then you're going to need a design theme that is compatible with your e-commerce plugin, like WooCommerce, which we mentioned before. And I want to tell you a little story. I once had a client that created this beautiful new website in WordPress, and they came to me and they're like, okay, now I want you to manage this for us on a regular basis, and I want you to set up our online store. They already decided that they wanted to use WooCommerce, which is great. But when I got in there to set up their online store, the theme that they chose was not compatible with WooCommerce. So we had to go almost back to square one of choosing a design theme that would work for WooCommerce, purchasing a new one, starting over with the layout process for the website, all because they hadn't thought about compatibility up front. So definitely keep that in mind. As with online shopping, you can also check ratings and reviews for a design theme. So you can look to see how many people are using this theme, how often is it downloaded, how many people have issues with the functionality or setup. I'll show you in a minute where you're going to be able to see that from within the WordPress dashboard when we're shopping for themes. But you can also find, typically you'll find an informational page about the theme if you do a quick Google search, and I'll show you how to do that as well so you can see what you're looking for. Finally, if you are new to setting up WordPress websites, then I suggest you find a theme with detailed documentation. So what I mean is the person who's created the theme will give you documentation that says where the different features are, what they're going to be called when you're looking for them in the customization features of WordPress. And customizing your homepage, like I mentioned before, it's really dependent on the design theme and the settings. So with that in mind, just know it can be a little tricky to give you instructions on how to do this because it will vary based on each design theme. And sometimes this is kind of one of those things you only learn by getting more comfortable with WordPress settings. That's why I recommend choosing a design theme that comes with detailed user guides or help documentation, because it'll really make things a lot easier to understand where to find the different features for that theme. If you've picked one of the free themes that comes installed, then you can go to WordPress.org and search for your theme and usually find instructions there on how to set up and customize that theme. Okay, so now that you know some best practices for choosing a theme, a common question we get is, how do I find a theme for my niche, for my specific type of site? When you start shopping for themes, keep in mind there isn't really such a thing as the best theme, but instead the best theme for your needs. And I do mean the best theme for the needs of your individual website. So to some extent, this might feel a bit like a soul-searching exercise, but there are some steps that we can follow to help you figure out what you need and want for your website. First off, start by making a wish list of features for your website. So for example, do you prefer to have the navigation bar at the top or maybe down the left side of the website? Do you want a big feature photo on your homepage or not? Will you have an online store and want to showcase your top selling products on the homepage? A theme that's built for an e-commerce store will have very different features from a theme that's built to showcase a photography portfolio, and that's why your wish list is important. Your wish list is going to help you stay grounded on the type of theme that you're shopping for, so you know what features you want. Next, spend some time looking at your competitor sites. Do they have design features that you want on your site? Maybe you find that your top competitors all have one certain design thing on their website and you think you should do it as well. Or maybe they have design features that you want to avoid. I have 2 worksheets that can help you make your wish list and also gather ideas from your competitor sites. We're going to drop the link to that in the chat window. You can download these PDFs, and I encourage you to take some time to go through the exercises in these worksheets, because it will help narrow down your wish list of design features and help guide you through that process of looking at your competitor sites. Of course, you can also do a simple Google search. So you can just type in restaurant WordPress themes or whatever your niche is. Remember, there are going to be tons of websites claiming to be, oh, this is the best theme for your niche. This is the best theme for blogs. But you're only interested in what's best for your needs. So keep your wish list with you and line it up to that. Does this theme have the things on my wish list? Does it have too many things that are not on my wish list, etc.? Either way, Google search can be helpful in gathering ideas for your wish list and ideas of themes that might match your wish list. Finally, I suggest that you spend some time on our blog. We have a lot of different articles about design themes, and we have a lot of articles about popular design themes for food blogs, or design themes for travel blogs, or themes for WooCommerce sites. You get the idea. You can also take a look at this specific article that we have, which talks about or lists out 7 popular design themes that you might want to take a look at. And we will drop the links to these in the chat as well. Okay, so that's about how to choose a design theme. Next, we're going to get into WordPress and show you how to find some of these features. Jana, do we have any questions that we should address before we jump into the live demo?
There's a couple I think we can talk about, and I apologize if I haven't caught up to everybody. One of them is someone has, I guess, old themes on their site that they're not using. Are they able to delete them?
Yeah, so you'll only have one theme active at a time. You can leave the rest of those themes in your library if you want. It's not going to hurt anything, but you can also manage that from the design theme section.
Okay, just a couple more. One of the questions, I think you may have addressed this, but it probably bears repeating. With a paid theme, is that a one-time fee or a subscription type payment plan?
So it will depend on the company or the site that you purchase it from. But in my experience, with the design themes that I've purchased, they have been a one-time fee. That's what I would say is what you're going to come across typically is a one-time fee.
Okay, and there's a couple of different questions about, you may get to this when you're actually doing the demo, but if somebody wanted to change a theme, I know there are risks, and changing a theme may require somebody to go in and make adjustments to the layouts of their pages. But is there a way that they can test something to see how compatible it is? Yeah, just what are the best, what is the best plan of action if you do want to change your theme?
Yeah, that's a great question. So what I would recommend is that you Google the theme name, and you'll typically find a marketing website for that theme, and it will list out for you some of the compatibility needs. So it'll tell you what version of WordPress is recommended with that theme, what version of PHP is recommended with that theme, and you can also do the same thing by checking your to see if your plugins are compatible. You are right that when you change the theme, it's going to automatically change the layout, and you are going to have to spend some time going through a setup process again to customize, which things are available in the different widget sections, and making sure the right pages are connected to the different features on the home page. But it's not going to delete your content. So if you change your site to a different theme, you will still have all of your pages and all of your photos there, so you can kind of quickly connect it. You could even test this on a different site, maybe just buy like a second test domain and test it out there, so that you're not having to take down your live site at the same time that you're trying to update your theme. Any other questions, Jana?
I think that covers some of the ones that I thought were kind of relevant. Like I said, I apologize if I've missed some questions. I'm going to continue to go through the chat. And we're getting the question about, will this be made available? I'm responding. I don't know if everybody's seeing it, but yes, that we're going to send an email to the attendee list, everybody that's registered with the recording. We're also going to put it out on YouTube after the fact, so you should be able to get to this, on demand.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, well, if that's all the questions you think we need to address right now, let's jump into the live demo. Okay, Jana, can you see my WordPress dashboard?
Yep, looks good.
Okay, great. All right, so this is my WordPress dashboard. This is for just a test domain that I have available. So there's not much on it yet. It's not even really completely set up as a full site. But I want to show you how to find some of these different things that we just talked about in the slides. So first of all, I want to show you where you can find the themes in the dashboard. So over here on your left sidebar under Appearance, the first thing that you're going to see, the first option is Themes. You'll click on Themes, and what you're going to see first is up here, you're always going to see if there's notices about your theme or about your plugins. That'll be at the top. I'm just going to click away on those for right now because I don't need that information. Actually, I'm going to keep this one because it does have information about the welcome page for the theme that I chose. But down here, these are all themes that I have already sort of downloaded to my site as options. But if you were going to, let me show you up here. Up here, search installed themes. Let's say I had more than, I've got 8 right now. Let's say I had more than that and I wanted to be able to quickly find one for some reason. if I use this search bar right here, it's only going to search the ones that I already have downloaded to my site right here. So if I want to add or look for a new theme, I'm going to scroll down and you'll have this little dotted box with a big plus sign that says add new theme. It'll be higher up on your page if you don't have this many themes already downloaded. So I'm going to click on add new theme, and it's going to pull up the WordPress theme library. So what you're seeing right here, it's already pulling in and populating a bunch of different themes for me to look at. And then I can also search or sort by these different categories up here. So featured, popular, latest themes. And then you can also use this search bar, search themes. So I can search by, let's say I want to search by, yeah, pets. That sounds like a good idea. It'll pull up different themes that have already been recommended or suggested for, like this one's for a pet clinic. This looks like pet products, wild safari, a veterinary office. So it's giving me suggestions for different themes that are already created with pets in mind. So I might search through here, browse around, see if one looks interesting. I can click on this details and previews, and it should pull up for me an overview of the theme. So what you're seeing right here is a paragraph or overview talking about the theme. And then what you're seeing here is kind of like the first blog roll of how this would work. So don't think about this stuff on the right-hand side as what it's going to actually look like. You should think about this image right here with the dog on it. I'm not sure if you can see my cursor or not, but this smaller image right here with the dog on it as what this theme could look like once you've set it all up correctly. But you can see down here, it says at the bottom of this paragraph, enjoy the demo here. So it's got a link for the demo site or the marketing site for this theme. So I'm just going to throw that into another tab and see what happens, see what it shows me once I get there. Okay, so here's the demo of what this theme would look like and the different things that it can do. So I want you to think about themes as sort of, think first of what you see is what you get. So I want you to think like this navigation bar is going to have these rounded edges. And if you don't like that, then you probably don't want this theme. Okay, so think first about, are most of these features something that I like and can use? Because you don't necessarily know how much you're going to be able to change or cancel. So I can kind of browse through here. Sometimes you'll find where these themes, instead of having this like what we call lorem ipsum text, this placeholder text, they might in this section tell you this is feature page number 1. You can find it under appearance, themes, customize, featured. So, you know, this may also have, like, I don't know, if we click on features, is it going to give me features of this theme? Not really. So what I'm going to look for next is I want to see who made this theme and do they have another page that would give me the documentation for how to set this up if I liked this theme. But that's how you can quickly, where was my correct tab? Sorry, right here. So that's where I was able to go see the full live demo of this so I can get an idea for what this theme might look like if I were to choose this one. Okay, so I am going to show you, let's say you purchased a theme from another site and you want to upload the theme that you chose. So when you purchase a theme, you're going to end up purchasing it from another website. You'll purchase and pay for it. They'll typically give you a zip file, and then you're going to come in here and upload the zip file and then install the theme. So keep it in that original zip file. When you come here to your themes page, up here at the top, you can see the option for upload. I'm just going to click that upload button. and it should give me a pop-up in just a moment. All right, so it's sending me back to the add theme section. And then I should be able to click, let's see if I can click upload theme. Okay, cool. So now it says if you have a theme in a zip format, you can install it by uploading here. So I would just click on choose the file. I'm gonna get a pop-up on my screen. You can't, I don't think you can see it on this, on the webinar, but it's giving me the option to find where I have that zip file saved on my computer. So I would just click it, open, and it would upload it here, and then it'll send me back to the same themes page, where then I can just select the one that I've uploaded. So for instance, this pet shop one is one that I purchased for a WooCommerce theme. And all I would have to do is click activate if I want to choose that one instead. Right now I have this one active called Corporate Club, and I wanted to show you how you would customize. I'm going to show you this one as a demo for how to customize a site. So for this Corporate Club, I did a little search for it, and it probably gave me, yeah, so once I uploaded and installed and activated this one, you can see down here it's giving me all the different information about it. So I clicked on About Corporate Club, and then it sent me to, it gives me all of this demo content, view documentation. So this one was coming with some pretty cool documentation, which is why I wanted to use this one. Then I was able to open it in, what I like to do is open it in a separate browser and compare to the demo site here. And then this one has, so here's the documentation that came with this one. And I found this information from here, from the demo content. And so I really liked the demo content or the documentation and the demo content that came with this one. This is what I mean when I say you want to look for good documentation when you're going through your process. All I did was search for this theme by name, and it would also give me the option of looking up this site. But you can see here in this documentation how it's going to tell me theme installation. After you install the zip file, you can choose one of the approaches below to install your theme. Okay, we've already installed, we don't need to do that. But then it says, how do I use site title, logo, tagline? And it tells you where to find it. From the customize section, go to site identity. Then you can add various options like a logo. And then it's going to tell me in the site title, it's going to change the site heading. Then it gives you the tagline and the site icon. So again, it's going to say, how do I use header images? Go to the customized section and then header image, etc. Okay, so this is what I mean when I say this theme comes with some pretty good documentation that's going to tell me where to find it in my WordPress dashboard, so I know how to set these different options, right? So from the custom settings, you can go here and do footer option, how to set your blog options, go to theme options and then blog. So it's telling me where to find all this stuff. It's telling me how to turn on the slider on the home page, how to set the menu. So this is pretty good documentation. I'm going to show you where you can find some of these main things that they're mentioning here without going through the entire process of clicking through all of it to show you how to do it, because we are on limited time here, right? Want to get you back to your daily work. But let me show you how you're going to do this. So we're going to just go back in here and double check. I already have this Corporate Club theme as my active theme. You can see right here when I hover over it, it says active. If I wanted to switch to something else, I can just hover over that one and click activate. But I've already got this one activated, so let's go ahead and start customizing it. I'm just going to hit this blue button right here for customize and see what comes up. Okay, so on the right-hand side, you're seeing a preview, let's say. Right now it's in this sort of blog roll mode. It doesn't really look like what we saw in the demo, but you're going to use all these things in the left-hand column to to set that up in the different settings and layout options. So right here for site identity, this is the site title, tagline, logo. You saw this information when we were in the documentation. But let's say I want to change my site title. I can change it right here. And I'm going to just change it to Blair's Awesome Website. And it's going to change it for me. You can see it changed it automatically as I did that. So you can see what's happening right as you're doing it. If you want a tagline below that, you can change it here. And I think if, let's say I don't want that tagline, I can just delete it and it should go away. Yep. And then if I want to add my logo for this site icon, I can do this right here, select site icon. Oh, the icon is going to be probably like your little emoticon that shows up at the top. Logo right here is where they have the logo section. So I'll select logo. You can upload a file if you have a logo on your desktop, or you can select from your media library. I'll just no, I'm not going to select a logo right now because I want to use these for my header images later. So colors here, they have the option to do background color. So if I click on this, it's currently white, but I can do a selector in here if, let's say I want my site to be some version, my background to be some version of like a pinky color. I can scroll around until I find the right color that I want. Or if you have brand colors that, you know, that you always use a specific color of red or black or whatever for your brand, you can put in the hex value right here. So, and now I've got maroon. Okay, what else can I do? So here you've got the option for header image. And it's got a current image in there, and then I can upload and change my header image just by doing add new image, again, selecting it from my library or uploading. Same thing with background image. So theme options, this is where if we kind of flip back here, this is probably going to manage some of these things in here, but it was telling me in the install, if I go back down here, yeah, see, here's my customizer for my theme options, header options, layout options. This is the stuff that I'm seeing here in my dashboard now. So, okay, this is pretty cool. It's giving me the option to automatically have my email and my phone number in there. So let's say I want, oh, cool. See, so it has this little extra header image that almost wasn't available until I started filling out the options. And now you can see my phone number is going to pop up there. So my customers could easily find the information to contact me. Let's see what else we got. Layout options. Okay, so for your right sidebar, I can choose that I want to move the sidebar to the left or to the right, or it's giving me 3 columns, which will probably give me potentially 2 sidebars. It's moving my main content over into 1 column. Or I can do no sidebar and make that sidebar go away. So let's see what else we've got in here that you can mess with. Theme options is where we just were. Here's the featured slider, and it's got the option to, if I want to put it on my home page. So currently it's disabled, the little check mark. And if I want to move it to the home page, then I would click this static front page to turn that on to the slider. And then it's giving me the option of which page do you want to do. This is pretty cool. So I've already got pages turned, or 3 pages on my site with just some quick information. But I can choose that I want services to be number 1, and then about us to be number 2, and then contact to be number 3. And then I think now I need to change my homepage settings. So down here, that homepage, Gives you, currently it's on latest posts, which is giving me that blog roll type layout. If I change it to static homepage, then it's giving me the option to, then I'll probably start seeing that slider and different things here. So another place, let me show you other places where you can look for, oh, I'm gonna go ahead and publish. Let me see, I'm gonna publish these. Oh, look, that's so cute. It's got my header, my background image in there. Other places where you can look for settings that you're gonna need to, for doing layout of your page is over here under Widget Section. So the Widget Section, over here on the right hand side, it's showing me these are the different sections that are available for this theme. So I like to think about widgets as grid sections of a page. So if you take the home page and you think about it as vertical or horizontal sections of the page, you know, the navigation bar would be one horizontal section, and then your main body content would be a vertical section. A lot of times you get to manage that here in your widget section. So you saw that sidebar on my blog roll earlier. This is here in the primary sidebar, and I can move all these pieces around and take them out if I don't want that to display in my sidebar. The other place that you're going to be able to set up some different features is probably under menus. So under menus, it will give you the option to create your, I had this on my home page a minute ago. You probably saw this pop up. So currently I would have about us and then the WordPress demo. Let's say I want to add some items to my menu. So I want to add services and contact. So over here, this is showing me, on the left side, it's showing me pages that I have currently available that are pages I've already published on my site. And I can click the check boxes for those and click add to menu, and then they'll show up over here on the right-hand side. Let's say I want to reorder this. I want services to be listed before about us. I'm just going to grab this little box and I can drag it and drop it into the place that I want. You should be able to see it's got a little dotted line behind of where it's going to snap into place. Let's say that maybe I wanted services to be an option under about us, where it would give me a drop down menu. I can just drag this over and pull it into the right. You can see it's where the little dotted line is, and now it's going to be nested under about us. Over here, this is all the options that you can add to your menu. So I could do a custom link, which would be, let's say I want it to be HostGator.com, and I want the link to say web hosting. Now I'm going to add it to my menu, and now I have the this web hosting as a button on my menu. Once you've got your menu how you want it to be, then you can click Save Menu. And this will now give you the option to have that menu appear in your different customized sections. You can also quickly access that here from Customize. So all these different customized sections, and then also look specifically for the one called Theme Options. That may also be unique to your theme. Remember, this is the header, layout, footer, etc. So a lot of this, it's going to take some time, and it's going to be a little bit of a troubleshooting learning process, if I'm being honest. But remember to always, you can compare this to the documentation that you got with your site, like compare it to the demo site, and then also to the documentation that came along with it. This is where, if this seems pretty overwhelming to you, this is where it would be helpful to choose a really simple theme, and maybe even a theme that's a paid theme where you would have support that comes along with that. And it's just, you do need to remember that every theme has different sort of options with it. So the process will be different, and the options here will change. So I'll show you quickly. Let's say I wanted to change to a different theme, just so you can see. Let's say I want to change to this Catch Starter theme. I'm just going to click the button to activate it. And now you can see that my Catch Starter theme is the active theme here. So now if I want to customize this theme, we probably should see some differences right away in the different options that are available. So some of these things will be the same as far as site identity and colors. So already this one's giving me different options that the other theme didn't give me. I can change the header text color and then also the background color. And then homepage settings for this is probably going to be, okay, this is the same. Do I want to switch it to static page or latest post? And then theme options. So you can see the theme options for this theme are very different than the corporate club that we were just on. We've got excerpts, featured content. That's probably going to manage on the demo site for this, there's 3 boxes right below this homepage, and that's where, or below this header, that's where you would change the featured content. Homepage, front page options, changing the order of the categories. So a lot of this, like I said, is very custom to the design theme that you choose. So some of this is going to be a process to figure out what can I do, what can I set up on this certain theme, but these are the main places that you're going to find it, is right here under appearance, themes, customize, also under your widget section, and remember to set up your menu as well. Okay, we've got 10 minutes left. So Jana, we've got some time for questions. Do we have any questions that people are asking that we can address at this point?
Yes, there are a lot of questions coming in, which is amazing. We probably will not be able to address them all, but one of the things that has come up is how to log into WordPress. We might be able to answer this with the videos we just put up on YouTube, but it's like, how does WordPress work with your HostGator, hosting package?
Okay, sure. So Jana's right. We did do some videos about this that just published this week. So they're brand new. You can find those on YouTube. So your hosting package is going to get your website online, and then your WordPress site probably is going to be a different login than your cPanel. But the way that I like to log into WordPress, and I'll show you, I can show you quickly because I think I remember the password for this without having to look it up. Okay, so here's my website, is this hgblairtest.com. Cool, you can already see what my theme looks like, and since I didn't change out the images, we still have this standard one that's on there. But in order to manage my WordPress website, the way that I like to get to my WordPress website is, for any WordPress website, you can simply add this, you can add /wp-admin to the end of the website, and it's going to give me the option to log in to WordPress. Now you have my email address. Hopefully it's not going to show you my password. Let me pull this away so I can log in real quick without jeopardizing my password.
Well, I think the gist of it is that and we do understand it's kind of a point of confusion that logging into your HostGator account portal is not the same as logging into your WordPress site. So you would have to, and Blair, correct me, when you purchase a plan from HostGator, you are expected to select at that point whether you want to go with our in-house builder or whether you want to go with WordPress, and then we can walk you through the steps to install WordPress. It's not automatic. Do you know, Blair, after the fact you can go back and add WordPress to your account?
Yeah, so I would suggest you can purchase the shared hosting plan, and then you can install any type of content management system that um, onto that shared package. So once you purchase the shared package, you can still go and install WordPress on it. And we actually did make a new video about that this week of how to use, it's called Softaculous, which is the software package that you'll use to install WordPress. It's pretty easy. There's just some, like, you just click some buttons. There's a few different steps that you go through, and you'll be able to get it installed.
There's a couple more questions that I think we could get to because they did come up more than a couple of times. One is about doing a test site. Do you have to do, this is kind of a multi-part question. Do you need a separate domain to do a test site, or can you have a Sandbox, using just the one domain that you've purchased to test out a new theme?
Yeah, so when you start out with your first WordPress website with HostGator, when you log into your WordPress dashboard, there will be like a banner up here at the top that will say you're displaying a coming soon page. Click here to publish and go live. So when you're setting up your very first site, it will give you that option to do, it'll already have the coming soon installed. So you can play around with it and then publish when you're ready. I think I would need to look into more detail to figure out what do we give you as far as the Sandbox. But I think having a secondary domain is a great way to do that as well, where you can kind of test things out on the side and on the side. But you can always just have the option to not publish your site. Keep your site unpublished, test and play with it until you're ready to go live.
You could theoretically try different free themes. And then get the one that you really like. Okay, here's something that's come up as well, and I know changing things, because I've run into this with like a personal blog. Changing things can be a very scary proposition, and it might not be compatible with some of the functionality you've added. I think, and here again, Blair, I think I can answer this, but you can correct me. The recommendation from us and from any WordPress theme is that changing it is probably going to be fine, but it's recommended that you do make a backup of your site in case the changes are so dramatic that you can't get some of it, back into the position that you want, or if it is not compatible with some of the widgets or the apps that you've added. So this is where backing up your site, having a version that you can always revert to is key. You should have that anyway when updating. Even if you update the theme, it's important to have that backup just in case, something does go wrong.
Absolutely, that's a great recommendation, Jana.
And the last one is, there was a couple of questions about child and parent themes. Would you need it? You'd be able to use a different theme on a subdomain? Would that have to be a child theme? We may be getting a little deep here, but if you could just address quickly maybe how they work together.
Sure. So I believe with a subdomain, you can have a different theme on there, but with let's say you have a subfolder, then you probably would be using the same theme. A parent-child theme, if you're not familiar with those terms, the parent theme is the original one that's built, and then child themes give the developer the option to easily customize them for different settings or different sites. So a common one is the WooCommerce storefront theme is the parent theme. But then there are child themes of that parent theme that give you different layout and color options, but still run the functionality of the storefront. You can use them differently, but on a site, on one site, you're only going to have one theme active at a time. Any other questions, Jana?
There are some more questions. Like I said, there seems to be a lot of questions about updating the theme. If your theme is really out of date, that can be a security issue. So yeah, there you're going to have to make the decision about whether you select a new theme. Can you repeat some of the places where you can buy themes from? I think that's come up a couple of times. Or we can add it in the chat probably.
Yeah. the examples that we had on the slide were Theme Forest, Mojo Marketplace, and then like if you're gonna do, let's say you wanna do a store and you're gonna use WooCommerce, I would suggest going directly to the WooCommerce website, and they have a whole section on themes, and you can shop there as well. Also, let me, I can put up one of these. Let me put up this slide again. So these are the different places where you could purchase, or some examples of places where you can purchase a theme. There's lots of different options, so it's really up to you. And then also remember, you can look at on our blog, we have a bunch of different articles. I'll put those links up again. There they are. So here's links for where you can find more information on different design themes, and there's lots of different recommendations of different places you can buy them once you're here going through some of the specific niche article examples.
Perfect. And last one, this has come up too. What is the theme that you used in this example?
Yeah, it was called, it's called Corporate Club by Axel Themes.
Perfect. If somebody wants to ask a question on Twitter, I'll be watching those throughout the day and even into tomorrow. So we might be able to get your question answered there. Even if it's a little more technical, we could pull in some support resources. So we're happy to help.
Absolutely. Well, I hope this was helpful. I know that it is, we didn't get to show you a fully completed site from beginning to end just because of the nature of time. But remember that as you're shopping for themes, just stay focused on your wish list, and make sure you're finding something that is usable for you and that has really good documentation to help you through the process of setting up. If you have not started your WordPress site, or you have not purchased a site yet, then you can check out, there's a link on the screen now where we have a special offer for 60% off your first WordPress website. So check that out if you're looking for your first site. And then also look at our YouTube page. It's pretty easy to find when you search for HostGator on YouTube. We've created some new videos this week about how to install WordPress on your web hosting package, and some different things about how to get started. So there will be a survey popping up after the webinar. It should pop up on your screen, but you'll also get it in the follow-up email. Please let us know what questions you may still have about themes that we can help answer, because we really want to help you get on your way to publishing your first site, customizing your site so you can really be happy with your website. And let us know what other things you want to learn about in the future so we can make sure we're providing you with helpful content. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we hope that this webinar gets you on your way to building your first WordPress website. Thanks, have a great day.